Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. All right. Good evening. Good evening. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. How's my sound? Okay. We need to. Okay. Good. Is it crystal clear? Okay. Okay. What's going on, family? What is going on? I don't know. Okay, hold on, stand by. Stand by. Okay, I see you, D. I see social in the city. I see you. I see everyone. Yes. Yes, I'm not on camera right now. I will be on camera shortly, but I'm not on camera right now. But first and foremost, good evening, everyone. Hopefully, everyone has had a great weekend. This is coming to the close of the weekend. And yes, we are back. We are black and we are ready to get in some things. Let's see here. Hold on, stand by. Okay, well, listen, I had some audio issues. So you being funny, right? I had some audio issues early on. Had me sound like Mickey Mouse, but we good. We good. So, real quickly, this past Friday, I covered a press conference regarding the mass shooting that occurred in Mechanicsville, which is a section in Atlanta, a section where none other than the witness Lil Woody, Kenneth Copeland, uh, it's the hood he represents. So apparently there was a shooting at the Dunbar Center where several individuals were struck by gunfire. And as the story goes, there were some individuals who were seen in the area at the before the shooting that appeared they appeared to be carrying firearms and or long gun weapons. And what is weird is that there was police that was providing security to the this annual event that happens in that section of Atlanta, but apparently not enough security. And one, two, three, several individuals were struck. One young lady was struck in the head, and she's in ICU now at Grady Hospital. But the press conference occurred in at front of Grady Hospital, where the activists and some of the family members discussed the plight that is constantly plaguing the community. So while there's no correlation between these shootings and Lil Woody, but we do remember Lil Woody had kind of shot out his hood uh, during the testimony in the YSL trial. But again, the gun violence here is in Atlanta is high. It's bad, and it's really, really becoming a national health crisis because when these many guns are ending up in the communities, and then with the changing of the law where people obviously criminals going to get access to guns, so the law really doesn't do anything for people that who is intent on causing harm. But this press conference pretty much wanted to highlight the problems in the community, and then then the organizers had on Saturday a pull up at the Dunbar Center, encouraging the community uh, members, neighbors, anyone and everyone to essentially, point out the people that are causing harm in the community. And I commend them. I commend them. The fact that you can come into a community, and I don't think the people that were involved in the shootings, I'm almost sure they weren't from the community, but they took the action that they did and it resulted in multiple people being injured. This is a mass shooting, no different than mass shootings that occur around the country. But this one happened in the black community. And people should be really outraged right now that this is actually still occurring. But with that said, uh, the candidate that's running for district attorney currently, Miss Kramer, has released a statement essentially saying that she would stop the YSL trial on day one if she is elected. Some have said that this is pandering, and some have encouraged her to talk about what's happening in the YSL case. So my question is she just pandering, uh, for the black vote, or is this something that she should be talking about as a potential um, replacement to Fonnie Willis? And then we got to delve into why this is so important. Um, I agree right now, and I think I was apprehensive early on that the case shouldn't have even went forward because I had knowledge early on that the case was weak. It was weak. You guys got to remember this case was investigated 9 years ago. The former prosecutor, Mr. Paul Howard, which I had a great conversation with, spoke about this. And one of the things that was revealed to me was that Lil Woody wasn't a credible witness. And he did not want to move forward with a case with a witness like this. Nothing had changed from from back 9 years ago to today that made Lil Woody more credible. So you had to ask the question, why did this prosecutor, DA Fonnie Willis, decide that she wanted to prosecute this case and use this particular witness as a star witness in the case? So there's problems there, major problems there. And I think that uh, multiple people, many people around the nation is seeing what we are seeing, and also is seeing what Paul Howard, the former district attorney, saw. This case should have never been prosecuted. It should have never been prosecuted. Even though you have over 28 defendants that were 26, 28 defendants, I lost count, that were looped in this RICO case, but it's still the foundation of the case is weak. And millions of dollars are being spent, and more millions will be spent before the conclusion of this case. And this case needs to end. I saw some people say on social media, well, this case will be over by election day. Absolutely not. Not when the prosecutor have over 100 more witnesses to call. And you see the rate in which these witnesses are being called. Lil Woody's still on the stand. Okay, guys, my mic is acting up again. So the problem is that the prosecution, this almost is like a political prosecution. And when I say political, this case doesn't have the necessary requisite for conviction. It doesn't. Coupled with the fact that you had a jury that was out for 2 months, a sitting jury that was out for 2 months while a judge was being recused. And do you think in 2024 these jurors don't have access to social media? They live on their phones. Very rarely people turn on the TV to get their news. They go on social media. They go on Facebook. They go on all the platforms that give them their news. They don't go to CNN. They don't go to they may go to TMZ. Uh, they don't go to a lot of the traditional mainstream media to get their content. So how much of this jury is already tainted? So again, it comes down to who do you like at this point? Do you like the prosecution or do you like the defense? Because this case has become, it does appear to become more than about Young Thug. This case is about winning. This See, here's the problem. There was there's so much money that's spent. The prosecution can't even do about face right now. Even if they thought about doing an about face. An about face is especially in a election season, it is tantamount to failure for the prosecution. Even though the prosecution knows that this case it has no real substance, it has no probability of conviction. But for them to do about face right now, it's tantamount to a failure for the prosecutor in our office. And I can tell you, this is what I know for this has been verified. There are people that are working on this case right now from the investigation standpoint that knew the case was not good at all. But because someone made the process, let's put names on it. D. Willis made the call to prosecute and present this case to a grand jury, and you can indict a ham sandwich. When people hear that, oh, this case was indicted by a grand jury, you can literally go with minimal evidence and get an indictment. Minimal. You don't have to present a fraction and you can get an indictment, which is not a conviction. We know this to be true just looking at how many times, and I won't go too far off, that Trump was impeached because that's similarly like an indictment. When you impeach, it's like an indictment, but they went nowhere. A lot of accusations, but it went nowhere. This case here is even worse in that we're looking at a witness, in particular, Mr. Copeland, that's making a fool out of the prosecution, and it doesn't play well to the jury. It doesn't. Why? First thing, if I was a juror, I'd be saying, "Why is this guy even here? This guy's coming in with a hood on his head. He's he's having banter with the court reporter. Him and the prosecutor, Miss Hilton, uh, uh, their energy is just being read, and it just is not the type of case that you want to be in front of a jury or this witness. So I don't know what they're trying to do by playing these long videos, long old videos, like they did this past Friday. These are long videos. You're not even pausing to talk about certain things in the video. It's like you're trying to bombard the jury with a lot of information. That's what it appears. You're bombarding the jury with a lot of information, but in the end, they're going to have to make a decision. Is this just a waste of time? Did they waste 2+ years of our lives, probably 3 years before this case is to a conclusion? And the jury is going to take their, let's just say, frustration out on either one side or the other. And it's not looking good for the prosecution right now. That's just my opinion. If you guys think otherwise, you guys can tell me if you know, if you agree or disagree with what I'm saying. Do you think that this case, and let's be honest, do you feel like Young Thug and his co-defendants, and particularly Young Thug, Shannon Stillwell, Rodarius Ryan, uh, Kendrick, uh, I'm just gonna keep up with all the names. But do you think these guys are looking more
More
guilty?
guilty or less guilty?
So just think about that for a second. And here's the other thing. There was a big campaign to get Judge Glanville off the case. Get him off. He's wrong. He's doing these damn ex parte meetings. He's belittling the defense attorneys. He's doing this. He's trying to throw Brian Still in jail. He's giving writing assignments to lawyers. He's literally just been running amok in the courtroom. But if you guys are smart, you see Judge Whitaker is being very careful about lambasting Judge Glanville. She's being very careful about the judge. Even when Brian Still last week, those who watched the trial, even when Brian Still made a proffer to the court and spoke about the importance of having questioned Copeland about what was in his mind as he sat in the judge's chambers being told that he can be held indefinitely until the trial comes to a conclusion. There was apparently intimidation. And we also learned that Kenneth Copeland might have been starved in jail. He hadn't been eating. And this is the first that I heard this. Like Doug Weinstein said, Jan, this is, we didn't speak about this because we didn't even know about this. So if that's the case, why would they not feed the guy? So we don't know how true that is. There should be video footage of him, of the staff trying to bring food to him. But even knowing that, it's problematic. Um, it's major because the intimidation might have happened in the sheriff department as well. No water, held indefinitely. The psyche of that. This is no different than what you do in Guantanamo Bay. This is no different than what happens in Guantanamo Bay. You wear your you wear the suspect witness. I don't know what you want to call Copeland right now. He's a witness now, but he's a problem witness. And the fact that he says some things on it, there's so much going on here. I can't really believe what this guy. One thing I would believe that he lies. I can believe that. I'll give him that he lies. Now, you don't know what he's lying about, and that brings in the question of where there be will the jury see that this is uh, a very doubtful case to even consider. I'm just wondering what the instructions will be. How would that look down the road? How would that look? Because at the end of the day, they got to bring all this home. The prosecution had to bring their case home. How much will the defense do? Will any of the defendants take the witness stand? Do they even need to take the witness stands at this point? Do any of these defendants need to take the witness stand? I argue they do not. If any witness would take the stand, I mean, any defendant would take the stand, I would say it will probably be Stillwell. Stillwell. And he probably won't have to do that either because he has a good attorney. Max Sharp is a very good attorney. He probably won't have to take the stand. But at the end of the day, the defense has an opportunity to put on a case as well. Then obviously going to be a rebuttal. But I don't think the defense is going to drag this case out too much. They're going to bring each because there are a lot of overt acts that are being alleged. And then we learned last week that, correct me if I'm wrong, that if then this is what DA Love was arguing that if they find one individual guilty of an overt act, they can find all the defendants guilty of that act as part of their conspiracy. That's a slippery slope. That is incredible. So, for example, well, Woody's not a defendant in the case, but if he's out here robbing and intimidating people by doing stick ups or whatever the case is, I'm using him as an example. Um, is that an act in furtherance of the RICO case? Is that an overt act? So it's real. This is for these jurors that have to decide this case. It's going to be a lot, and I think at the end of the day, they're going to realize that there was a shift in judge. Should they believe anything that this judge has said, the prior judge has said in the rulings? And that's another problem. Even the rulings prior to Whitaker coming on, she's already said that she's going to keep most of Judge Glanville's rulings in place. But how faulty are these rulings? There were a lot of objections made by the defense. So it's a lot going on here. And I guess my point is this case is costing the county too much money. And I think those who are part of Fulton County should be screaming at the top of the mountain to end this case. I really do. I think they should be screaming at the top of the mountain, not the people that live outside the county, not people chiming in. And again, of course, you can chime in from all over. You have the right to chime in all over the nation, but particularly the people in the county that will ultimately have to pay the taxes that fund these type of prosecutions should be really upset. Millions of dollars being paid to keep this case going. There are a lot of people eating off this case, and I'm just talking about the people that are part of this case, not outside of this. Millions being made or outside of it. People making tons of money on this case, but I'm talking about the people that actually, you have. It's basically job security. It's job security for the prosecutors in this case, for the court officers in the case, for the judge in this case. It's job security because without having a case like this go on, then they had to find something, another case to do. Just think about the request for additional budgets for the sheriff department to man this case. And I'm telling you, they're doing a lot. It's a lot that you guys don't see. You don't need this type of manpower to cover a trial. Oh, trials that happen in that courthouse all the time. They got a table erected with unnecessary security. Well, I don't say unnecessary. You got 6 defendants. Anyone can probably wild out at any point in time, but I don't think that's happening. It's actually one of I think I covered the when I see this many defendants, I think I covered the Manny Chapaya Lil Fat murder, where they had one, two, three, four, five defendants. One was on bond. The rest of them were uh, detainee. They were being detained. So it was but they didn't have that much. They had security in the courtroom, but they didn't have it like this. So I don't know. It's just a lot of showboating, a lot of unnecessary waste. And I do agree. And I don't know if Kramer's pandering, but she's right. It's costing the county a lot of money. Will people get out and vote in the county to stop this trial? I don't know. We'll have to see. No, Crystal Sutton, you are right. And whenever Crystal, Crystal says this. Crystal said a defendant should never allow their no, it's well, a lawyer should be, I guess you say, I guess you might admit that okay, a defendant should never allow their client to take the stand. You meant a lawyer should never allow their client to take the stand. That's what you meant, Crystal. Why is the screen black? I'm black. What do you mean, why is the screen black? Yeah, I know you want to see my face. Quiet storm. Quiet storm. D, come on, we ain't gonna do that right now. We ain't gonna get into that right now, but we can. We can. We can get into some quiet storm later tonight. If I get enough ones in the chat, we might do some quiet storm tonight around 12 o'clock. I know D want that quiet storm. I know D do. Oh my goodness. Okay. I got some. I got some. Listen. I got my playlist ready. I got my playlist ready. But don't get me started now. No, we got to stay focused, guys. You're about to take me there. You're about to take me there. Who remember the Quiet Storm where your boy was out here dancing? Who remember that? I tell you what, guys, I'm going to end this live. I'm coming back. I'm going to be on camera. How about that? I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to end this live. I'm going to come back on camera. I just wanted to just pop in and show out. But I'll be back in give me about 10 minutes. I'll be on camera. Britt wants something to look at. Britt, you want something to look at? Oh my goodness. You probably bring me out I used to be a stripper back in the no, no, just joking. I'm just joking. Just joking. Just joking. I'm just joking. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back. I'll be back on camera. And when I come back, you better hit the like button. Show that love. See you in a minute. We out. Guess we're not out. Oh, oh, they won't let me out of here, ladies and gentlemen. They won't let me out.